Saw this quote today and I had to put it on my wall to remind me because one thing, if you watched my vlog last week about how I was allowing my emotions to run my business, as a result of that, I was also truly procrastinating so much to the point where nothing was getting done. And a bulk of last year, and I would say the first half of this year, 2024, last year, 2023, I felt the repercussions of those actions or inactions, truly. Because as I was allowing my emotions to get in the way, I became very complacent. I became very almost overindulged in my own. I could say it was ego. It was definitely ego. And looking back with the lens that I have now today, in terms of excuses or lack of discipline, planning, lack of planning, shifting my mind back into an abundance mindset, I think I was so focused on getting things done right, or even just the urgency in which they needed to be done, that I wasn't making rational decisions. I was making very desperate decisions. I was making very on the spot, do what I gotta do, survival mode decisions. And I think in certain situations that can be okay, but not in all situations, especially when I am my livelihood, I am my business. Without me, none of this can run. And I think I've been trying, maybe not trying the right things up until this point to get myself out of those situations. But now, as I'm producing more content, as I'm making myself more available in a community setting versus just doing one-on-one coaching or focusing on having every single person on my roster to be their TC, I'm focused on those that I can help with focused intention, truly. As I've mentioned before, I've really cut down my roster tremendously. I've even been cut off of teams, and that's okay. That's a part of business. You win some, you lose some. And learning to let go has been a big part of that process. And going back to this quote, excuses make today easier and tomorrow harder. Discipline makes today harder, but tomorrow easier. I've realized that the last part of this part, the first part, excuses make today easier. I was so focused on my days all being easy. I was so wrapped up in life outside of this is so hard. Why would I make it more difficult for myself? So I was constantly avoiding, I was constantly procrastinating and just saying, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And another quote I have is, procrastination is the arrogance to think that God will give you another chance tomorrow to do what you had a chance to do today. And I have these quotes, around my office because one, my love language is words of affirmation. So for me, I need these constant reminders because truly I'll forget. I will forget. And it's not because I don't want to do things. I just think I get so caught up in the little details, I tend to forget the bigger meaning behind all of this. So it's important that I put it on my wall, that I put it on my cork board over there in order to remember these messages and to remind myself, because I wasn't going to even hit record on this on this vlog. I was like, I don't know what to talk about. And I made a list of 10 topics that I want to talk about for the next 10 weeks. But as I'm sitting here, the topic talking about my debt payoff plan, which was supposed to be today's topic, it just didn't resonate with me. And I just finished my live stream, which I do every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please join me in the live stream. It's fun. we just kind of freestyle. There's no theme, there's no topic. I answer questions as they come in. Whatever's on my heart, I'll speak about it. Whatever I want to celebrate, I'll celebrate. Anything I'm struggling with, I'll talk about it. And it's therapeutic. It helps me with my own personal journeys with communication, asking for help, and even social anxiety. I didn't realize how much, and I'm going to do research on this, but how much stage fright I have. It's not so much when I'm like quote unquote on stage, like right now. I can talk. Once I hit record, I can talk, but it's the steps in between having the idea and then having to go present it to a larger audience, whether it's in my office here or in person, especially in person, which I'm working on. But it all came down to, and I realized this, and I'm going to talk about this more in depth as time goes on, as I'm learning more about this part of me, is I think a lot of my lack of discipline, a lot of my procrastination, my laziness, my failures were all a result of avoiding responsibility, which is odd to say, which is why I'm not 100% convinced that's the reason for part of the downfalls that I've experienced. But I do know that it played a part in a lot of the decision making I've made in the last 5 years, for sure, especially with my business. And I'm now starting to unlock and uncover areas in which that's also impacted my personal life. So avoiding responsibility has prevented me from, in the last couple of years, I wouldn't say now moving forward, because I'm aware of it. I can't unsee it. I can't undo the knowledge or the self-awareness, but ultimately I'm realizing, okay, I've been avoiding being responsible for a lot of things, even people, you know what I mean? So if I were to take full responsibility of myself, what does that look like? So going back to my vlog about auditing my life, now with this lens of, okay, what areas do I really need to take full responsibility for that I've been avoiding, that I've been ignoring, that I've been tiptoeing around? You know, maybe I've explored, but I ran away at the first sight of loss or failure or embarrassment, shame, right? Now I'm approaching my decisions from a lens of, no, this is my responsibility and I have to endure it. I have to experience it. I have to create a plan, systems. Once again, all of these things I keep talking about that I avoid, that I'm now facing head on. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about excuses, discipline, procrastination, responsibilities as a business owner, as a grown adult in their 40s. Even if I did just turn 40 a couple months ago, you know, I feel like my life is, I'm a changed person. Long story short, because I can ramble, but I am a changed person and I feel those changes. And as a result of feeling those changes, sometimes I don't know who I am. So having to relearn and rebuild who I am at this point in my life, it is very uncomfortable, but it's also very rejuvenating. I feel that fresh start, but I'm starting fresh from a new vantage point. So I hope this message resonates with someone out there. Let me know in the comments. I'll continue to talk about these things. I'll continue to document them and how they're impacting my business as a TC, a coach, a content creator, as a person just evolving and growing in this world, seeking more, but also learning how to accept that I am enough and I have enough. So thank you again for watching another TC Vlogs. My name is Lillian Hernandez, but you can call me Lily like the flower. I don't even think I gave an intro in this video because I just wanted to start talking. But new vlogs on this channel. I live stream. Please join my Patreon. That is where my exclusive content is released. You get the podcast before it goes live. You get to do one-on-one coaching with me. It's included in the Patreon. And I really love my growing community. We are small but mighty. And I just know that that is going to be the place where we can all just relax a little bit, go through the difficulties and the wins together and evolve together, same way that I'm doing so right now on camera with you guys. But with all of that said, thank you again for tuning in for another TC Vlogs, and your time is worth it. Let's coordinate. Talk soon and hit that subscribe button. Talk to you guys next week.